Hi Peas, it's finally Friday. I'm going to show you how to make this cute little floral card today. And it's super easy to make and there's no sentiment, so you can give it to anyone for any reason. And I just kind of like having a bunch of these blank note cards on hand. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to use a cream note card. This one I have is actually from Hero Arts. And we're going to stamp our flowers up in the upper left hand corner. I have the clear stamps that I'm using. These are from Hero Arts. They got together with Basic Gray and they made a collection of stamps, and these ones are for the Indie Bloom collection. And I'm going to use this bottom stamp right here. This set's actually called Butterflies and Wildflowers. And I'm putting it on my well-used acrylic block here. You can tell I use it quite a bit. And I'm going to be using my Distress ink by Tim Holtz. It's called Pumice Stone. It looks a little brown when you look at the cover, but it's actually gray. So we're going to ink our stamp up. Really good. And the thing about Distress inks is when you use them on a clear stamp, sometimes it looks like it's not covering very well, but when you stamp it, it will spread to where you want it to go. So don't be too worried when you use them. They do turn out really nice. Go ahead and stamp it in the upper left-hand corner. And pull it off. So we have our stamped image. It looks a little dark now, but it will fade quite a bit to a softer gray. I'm going to round the bottom two corners of my card. I'm going to use my little corner rounder here. It's old, but it gets the job done. I really need to get a new one though. Sometimes it doesn't like to work for me very well. Okay, so we've got the bottom two corners rounded, and now I'm going to add my paper strips to the bottom. I chose to go with some pattern paper from the Sassafras Lass Wee Bundle called Sunshine Broadcast, and I was inspired by the papers that were on the cover. So I used the exact same floral and the exact same gray dot papers, and I cut my floral paper down to 5 inches wide. I didn't want it to quite go to the edges, so it's 5 inches wide and 1.5 inches in width. And I'm gonna round the bottom two corners of this strip. And then I'm just going to adhere it. That's the bottom. And then I have my gray strip. I'm just going to place it right over the top of the other one. And I wanted to add a little softness to this card, so I decided to get some of this pink paisley mistables. These are really fun. It's like a fabric, and it's got the scallop shape on it, which I really love because I can't really cut it that well myself. So I'm going to use a 5-inch piece of this, just the same width as the paper we've been using, and I'm going to use some glue dots to adhere it on there. Just 3 of them right across, right underneath the gray strip. I also use my hot glue gun sometimes, but these glue dots make it so quick and easy that I keep these on hand right in my drawer if I don't want to wait for my hot glue gun to heat up. So we're just going to adhere it right there underneath the gray strip. We have that. And I'm going to use some baker's twine to go right over my mistables. This one's actually by Divine Twine. It's the pink one. And I'm going to cut off a long piece of it. I have a ton of it here. I love this baker's twine. I have a bunch of it in all different colors. And they sell all the different colors at 2Ps, so you can actually stock up on them and get one for every color of pattern paper and anything that you have. They're kind of fun. They go with anything. Okay, so wrap it around twice. And I am going to tie my bow over here. Okay. We'll try one more time. And when you tie bows, it's just the easiest way I've found for tying bows on my cards is just to pretend like you're tying your shoelaces. And I usually get it going the right way. So I've got my bow, and I'm just gonna clip off the edges here. And I wanted to show you a new trick that I discovered. I have these paper posies by Maya Road, and these are so fun. I was playing around with them the other day, and you can use them for almost anything, and they're fun because they have this floral wire on there, but for today we're actually going to just cut those off. I just need 2 of them for this card. So we'll cut off the floral wire. And you can actually, because they are made of paper, you can color them with Copic markers. I think that's really fun because you can actually adapt them to match any pattern paper that you have. So what you do is you just take your marker, I like the brush side, and you're just going to go around, and it's not going to be perfect, but the color will seep into the paper. You can kind of see it going in there. You just go around, and I call it painting, but it's really just using your marker and coloring it. I'm just going to go around, and there's going to be some spots where there's a little glue and it won't let the ink adhere, but that's fine. You're going to get a really pretty little flower. Look how cool that is. Okay, so I'm going to do it in my pink. This one is Salmon Pink by Copic, and I'm going to use this one is Cool Shadow. So I'm going to color my other flower with this one. I'm definitely going to be using this technique on a lot of my cards in the future. I just love being able to make a custom flower to go with whatever I'm working on, whatever pattern papers I choose to work with. I know I can have a flower that will match as long as I have a marker that matches. And I'm sure you can use any kind of marker as well. If you don't have access to Copic markers, you can use any kind of a marker to color. Or even probably a paint if you wanted to take the time to paint it. It'd be a little more messy, but okay, so I've used my Copics to color them, and I'm going to just adhere them onto my bow like that. I like the way that looks, so I'm going to use my glue dots again to adhere them. And I like to just take the glue dot and kind of roll it up into a ball and just stick it on there. Okay, see how cute, and it matches perfectly. And then just our last step is we're just going to take the same Copic markers that we used to color our flowers, and we're just going to color a couple of flowers on our stamped flower up here. So I just take it and kind of, doesn't have to be perfect, you're just giving it a little bit of color. Go around, this is just the kind of fun part. Have fun playing with your markers. I keep opening the wrong side. Okay. Anywhere you think that needs a little bit of color. And they do lighten up quite a bit. And that is just the end of our card. I mean, it's super simple. You can make a bunch at one time, and you can add a sentiment if you wanted to over here or even on the inside. But that's my card for today, and I'm glad you joined me. I hope you get a chance to try it out. Thanks.